Hey guys, what's up? This is Bret here with Jesse, Super Turbo Blur. It's been a long time since we shot a video together, one of our Turbo Planet episodes. So I figured let's bring in Jesse for a special episode here of Friday on the Turntable. What's up?
We're here.
Yeah, so today's episode is in hopes that it'll get a little thread going in there here in the VC. The topic is, as you can see from the title of this video, is excellent B-sides. So I sent Jesse a message this morning and I said bring over some singles with some great B-sides, and we're going to show some, we're going to talk about them. Now there's some stipulations to what we're showing, and I hope that transcends then to what everyone else is going to show. Great B-sides, but the B-sides that you have to choose are ones that didn't appear on an album. So non-album B-sides. Make sense? All right, let's get started. You go first, Jesse.
For my first choice, we'll go to 1987. Used to With Without You. B-sides were Luminous Times, Hold On to Love, and Walk to the Water.
So you're going with all three?
I'll go with those two B-sides.
Okay.
Well, Luminous Times.
Luminous Times.
And then Walk to the Water. But those were great.
Good choice. Great
choice.
Great songs. Yeah, for sure. And let me ask you this. Another little question I'm going to throw into the mix too. Okay, those songs, great B-sides. Do you like those B-sides more, even more than some of the tracks that were on the Joshua Tree? And if so, would you exchange a track on that album with one of those B-sides to make even a more better track listing?
If I had to, I would throw... That's actually hard because Joshua was so great in its entirety, but the one song that I was never very fond of, and this is, I hope people don't kill me, but I would probably Take Off. I still haven't found what I'm looking for.
Interesting.
And for that reason, that song was actually best on the album, but it never transposed live to me as like a really great song. I just never appreciated it at any of the shows, and I've seen you two, quite a few times, and I heard Spanish Eyes, another B-side, at one of the Joshua shows that I was at when I was like 11, and it was great. I mean, they did Spanish Eyes and Silver and Gold, and two great songs, but Silver and Gold was probably one of my least favorite B-sides, but I wouldn't go with that because it later ended up live.
So you Take Off, still haven't found what I'm looking for, and replace it with...
Probably Walk to the Water.
Intriguing. Intriguing.
It's a good one. It's hard because that was a great album.
Okay, I'm going to go with this one, which is a peculiar one because I'm going to have to talk about it. And this is going to be David Bowie's Holy Holy B-side. Now, the Bowie fanatics out there are going to say, wait, that doesn't count, because Holy Holy was actually released as a single, a standalone non-album single back in 1971 in a different version, a version written in Black Country Rock from Man Who Sold the World was recorded there. And then a new version was recorded during the Ziggy Stardust sessions with Mick Ronson on guitar, and it was released as the B-side to Diamond Dogs. So I'm going to loosely bend the rules on that one and go with Holy Holy because it actually is one of my favorite David Bowie songs, in addition to being a great B-side. And like I said, it appeared as the B-side to Diamond Dogs. And there's a great cover version of Holy Holy by Shadow Project, Roz Williams Band, and a great version was on their first album. So anyways, that's David Bowie's Holy Holy.
Let's go with this guy. Going forward a little bit. Stone Roses. 10 Sort of Love Song. The B-side is Ride On. This was from their technically second album, Second Coming, which didn't have a cult following like the first actual album. And Ride On is a great B-side. Actually, great A-side, but the B-side was incredible. If you got the CD version, it had another B-side called Moses, which was also great, but I'm going with Ride On.
Nice choice, nice choice. All right, this next one, as before I shot, I realized that this can't be the original sleeve that was in. Okay, so Led Zeppelin only released one non-album track during their existence, and that was as the B-side to Immigrant Song, Hey Hey, What Can I Do? Killer track. It was released in a picture sleeve, which I don't have. The sleeve that I have in here is Columbia, and obviously it's on Atlantic, so there's some sort of mix-up there with the sleeve. But what a great track. It was from Led Zeppelin 3, so this was, what, around 1970, I think it was. Yeah, so great non-album B-side from Led Zeppelin 3. What's up?
I'm going to jump back to U2. Desire, this is the little gatefold. It's got the cool picture inside, but the B-side was on this Hallelujah Here She Comes. Again, another amazing song. I actually would have gone with no live tracks on Rattle and Hum and just had all the B-sides.
Yeah, agreed.
And had the live tracks as B-sides for the singles.
Agreed.
It would have been a lot stronger of an album.
Agreed.
It was so long. Agreed.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Rattle and Hum, I think the album tracks are great.
Hawk Moon 269.
It should have been, Heartland.
Heartland.
Best.
Incredible.
All I Want Is You.
Definitely.
Van Diemen's Land. It should have just, that album should have been just condensed down, gotten rid of all the live tracks, and have been, and it would have been a really solid killer album. All right, I'm going to throw out this one's great. Bauhaus, Bela Lugosi's Dead. Their very first single, 1979, on Small Wonder Records. The B-side for this one is a track called Boys. Great, Bela Lugosi's Dead was never on an album. It was a standalone, non-album single. And Boys was a non-album B-side as well. Great track. I'll just pull up and show the label on this one, because this is the only thing they released on Small Wonder. And the A-side is, the 9+ minute version of Bela Lugosi's Dead, the studio version, which is different than the live version, which is the kind of the more well-known one because it was on Press the Eject and it was in the movie The Hunger. But after Boys ends, there's a little bit of a studio version, like a demo version of Dark Entries that just kind of fades out. But Boys, excellent B-side.
I love that B-side thing. This one, High, the B-side on the 7-inch is this Twilight Garden. I absolutely love that. That and the other B-side being Play on the 12-inch and the CD. But
I didn't even know you liked The Cure.
Really? What made you?
Okay, there's another one. Wish. We both agree that Wish is a great album.
Amazing
my
album.
second favorite Cure album, as I decided in my ranking video. So, this Twilight Garden.
This Twilight Garden and Play should have been on the album. I don't know if it should have been a double, but if I had to remove one track, we talked about this earlier, I actually said Fred I'm in Love, because that's just such a different song. It was almost just like Heaven, but 1992. And not just like Heaven, if that makes any sense at all. It was kind of coming from that same pace and that same tone, like Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me. But the rest of the album was a little...
I don't know, I disagree with you on that one. I think Friday I'm in Love I thought was perfect sequencing in that album.
It really breaks up the monotony.
I guess if I had to get rid of one track, sorry to interrupt you, but maybe Wendy Time?
See, I love that one.
See, I don't know.
See, that's why we're all different.
Yeah,
so,
Wendy Time, but me personally, if I had to pick a B-side from The Cure, which I don't have the single to show, and I only picked ones that I have, The Big Hand.
Yeah,
for me,
A Letter to Elise
was just a great one. And the version from that, remember that video, Cure Play Out, I think it's called? From that pay-per-view? That version, so incredible. Yeah. And speaking of The Cure, the Join the Dots is a 4 CD box put out by Rhino, I think it was.
Rhino.
And 4 CDs of all B-sides and non-album tracks, soundtrack songs. Incredible.
It's definitely a box worth having.
It is probably one of the best box sets ever. All right, I'm going to stick with Jesse's Cure here. I'm going to go with Breathe, the B-side of the UK single of Catch from Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me, 1987. And Breathe was also a B-side on Just Like Heaven, in the US, right?
US.
Yeah. So this is the UK one on a clear 7-inch. Really cool. Breathe. Great atmospheric track. Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me was such a long album. Breathe should have definitely been on there. I think they could have gotten rid of one of the more funky kind of tracks. you know, and substituted with maybe Fight. I don't know.
I like
yeah. I mean, I don't know. Fight's a good ending because it's all angry. Torch is great. Yeah, I mean, maybe one of the songs. I don't know. Hot. I mean, I don't know.
I'd say Hot.
Yeah, you know, like there's a lot of great Kiss Me B-sides, and I think some of those tracks could have been maybe shaved out, and Breathe would have been a great one to include on the album.
Yeah.
Do it.
Well, I'm gonna go with another Cure then. This song from the Love Song 12-inch, and this actually had 2 B-sides, Too Late being one of them, and Fear Ghosts the other. I'm gonna go with Fear Ghosts. It also, both were on the B-sides, the Join the Dots box, but Fear of Ghosts is just such, it's a little over 6 minutes long.
What was the 7-inch B-side?
Too Late.
Okay.
But
I like how they always put on their unavailable on the album.
Yeah, it's cool.
That's cool. I think that's, you know, not a lot of bands do non-album B-sides, you know, and I think that was really cool. And another thing I think we should also address, which kind of goes into what, you know, what we were talking about before with the Bauhaus song and this next one here, is that non-album singles that were released between albums or before an album or whatever. And I'm going to go with U2 here. I picked the B-side to 11 O'Clock TikTok, which was a song in between Boy and October, and it was recorded with the producer Martin Hannett, who worked with Joy Division. And Touch, the B-side, is just an incredible track. Now, Touch was one of those songs that eluded me for years, being, you know, pre-internet. You know, I never even, you know, you couldn't just look a song up really easily, and if you couldn't find these songs, there were songs that you never heard, like Treasure, Pete the Chop, or all these U2 B-sides that you just, you know, or even a Celebration, those songs. And I first heard Touch on this U2 bootleg, and it was a live version of a show from, I don't know, maybe the October tour or something.
Yeah.
And it was really cool, and I was like, this song's so great. So the studio version is really quite good, and both of these tracks, like I said, were Martin Hannett. And Touch ended up being re-released as a B-side to Pride in the Name of Love, 12-inch, right?
84.
Yeah, so they brought it back then, but this is it in its original release. And this is this an Irish one? That label?
Is that the Great Britain or?
Yeah. Very cool. Jesse actually gave me this one. If you watched the videos, you would have known that. Maybe. I don't know. All right, keep going.
This one, and it was really hard for me to choose something that wasn't, you know, anyways. I went with Dangerous from Personal Jesus single, and we talked about this, how Violator only had 9 tracks and it was such a short albums, and the B-sides were either instrumental or just really, really cool, but they were only B-sides, and I think that kind of helps people to buy every format, because there were 7 inches cassette singles, maxi cassette singles, and then, you know, the 12 inches, and then there were like so many different formats of all the singles from Violator, and to get every B-side or version of B-side or album track, you had to buy all of them. And so I went with this because it's got the 7-inch version of Dangerous.
Let's not show that.
Of Dangerous. But anyways, that's the one I would go with. I actually kind of wished that there were more tracks on Violator. Being
it was 9. It was a short album.
It was short. It was in and out real fast.
Yeah, definitely. It always felt too short. 9's kind of a weird.
Yeah, it feels
number.
like
I don't know. It feels incomplete. I just remember, was it Psychedelic Furs of Mirror Moves was like that too. I think there was 9 songs. It's just kind of a weird. It's like you want that 10th song. I don't know. Maybe that's ridiculous. Here's another one. This is another non-album single, and with a non-album B-side, and that is Joy Division, the B-side to Transmission, Novelty. What a great song. Now, this is weird. It's still in the shrink, and I don't know what the deal is with this one, but the Transmission single actually had a picture sleeve with it, and I don't know if this was a promo. It's an Italian. It's an Italian pressing made in Italy, and so it's kind of interesting. It's still in the shrink here.
And Seven's got the picture.
Yeah, so I don't quite know the story. I've tried to track it down. I don't know if maybe it was put in a black die cut sleeve like this, but whatever. Regardless, it's killer to have it, and Novelty is a great B-side.
Last on my list actually is a B-side from Zamox's Phoenix album. This is At the End of the Day, and there's a B-side called Dream House. And Dream House was authored by Peter Newton and Anke Wolbert, you know, two of the also founding members of Xymox that are no longer with the band. But what a great song. It almost had kind of that rolling, we talked about earlier, with the rolling kind of bass synth, almost like Obsession from Twisted Shadows, and it's a real dreamy track.
What is that?
It's his 12-inch.
Oh,
it's
okay.
cool. So
Yeah. I thought it was a little price tag. Yeah, interesting.
So, yeah, that was the B-side.
Good choice. We listened to that right before filming. That was good. I enjoyed it. All right, last one on my list. I showed this recently in a video, but connecting here to Joy Division, after Ian Curtis passed away, the remaining members formed New Order. Their very first single was Ceremony. Brilliant. Written when Ian Curtis was still in the band, lyrics, melody. And the B-side to Ceremony is In a Lonely Place. What a killer song.
I love In a Lonely Place.
Just excellent. Both of these tracks. I mean, this is a perfect single. Green original pressing of the Ceremony single. Perfect single.
I would agree.
You know, and you know, man, as a music lover, I just love seeking out these B-sides because, you know, it just shows, you know, bands record a bulk of songs when they go in, whether it's to record a single and a B-side or they go and record a full album and they have a bunch of leftover tracks that maybe didn't fit in. It's just great creative explosion of energy, you know, that musicians have an artist, and to get all this other stuff that was on the fringe of the recording sessions are just really cool. And sometimes, you know, the bands struggle with what to put on the album, so those other songs get relegated. And songs like, you know, maybe some of the ones we talked about earlier were intended to be on the album, and they they got outvoted, or the record label decided to put them, you know, hey, we're not going to put that on there. And then a lot of times bands use those B-sides as really like experimentation, and they were intended fully as a B-side, just as something to do. But you know, there's been great bands like these bands that we talked about here that have, you know, I mean, there's, you know, we could have went on about U2, or even The Cure, because there's so many great B-sides in bands like James and you know, countless, the Smiths. I mean, lots of great stuff. So anyways, we just showed you kind of what ones initially just came to our head. You guys know what mine and Jesse's specialty are, and we stuck with that today. But we wanted to show you a little snippet of it in hopes that you guys will take it and run with it and shoot your own video and show us some great killer B-sides. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll have a link to Jesse's channel so you can subscribe to him if you're unfamiliar with Mr. Super Turbo Blur. So talk to you guys later.